Hello everybody and welcome to our last Crusade, or the Rise of the New World, episode 12, season finale anime review. And yeah, it wrapped up pretty much how I expected it. There was actually a few twists at the very end, like in the epilogue section. I'm like, man, maybe I should read ahead. Do I care enough to read ahead? Honestly, how I'd describe this show is it's really average, it's really mid, but I had a lot of fun watching it. Is that bad? Maybe. Nah, I'm just going to enjoy whatever I want. But let's get on to the episode itself, how it's going to go. I'm going to talk about the episode, I go through it and everything. And then after that, I will talk about the series as a whole a little bit and how, how my enjoyment of it and stuff to that effect. But, of course, for right now, let's jump into the episode, see how everything went down, and do this thing. So we pick up where we left off, which, in case you forgot, the giant dragon mech showed up and is going to take out Sisbel, which is not good for everyone, really. Everyone kind of needs her alive. Iska is blocked by Masked Lord from going after Sisbel. Also, it turns out that then he's not working with him and the mech. It's coincidence. They're not part of the same group. They're not working together, basically. Masked Lord is like, it's a crime her just talking to you because she's a princess. I'm like, that's a bit harsh. I get it, but that's a bit harsh. Team Iska shows up to help out. They don't really get what's going on, but, kind of annoying. They never question at any point what's going on in this episode. Like, who is that girl? Why is there a mech here? Who's this masked dude? Why are they not questioning Iska? I feel like they need to ask him this stuff. The mech also detects Miss's magic crest, which is like, this is bad, it could get back to the bosses. So, when it's scanning the area for them, they're like, this is bad, the bosses could find out, we gotta do something about that. The mech and Masked Lord's mages fight each other briefly. The mech obviously destroys the mages because it's a mech and they are generic mooks. I feel like that's not too much to say. Jin stops Masked Lord from going after them because Jin has got a bone to pick, because of course Masked Lord is the one that pushed Captain Miss into the vortex. Is it vortex? We'll go with vortex. So of course he wants revenge, basically. And then as a riposte, I guess, some gas gets released at them by Masked Lord during their brief showdown, we'll call it. Iska is a great guy, obviously, so he's protecting Sisbel from the big old CG mech. It's CG, but I don't think it looked terrible. I've seen worse CG, so there's that. Just all I'm really going to mention on it. She doesn't really get why Iska's helping her. He, of course, he has his reasons for declining her offer, before, but that doesn't mean he's just going to, he's not a bad guy. He's not going to just let her get got like this. Nene also shows up to help. I forgot her name was Nene. The ponytail one. She shows up to help with this piercing shot thing, which wrecks the mech. Again, no idea who this girl is. They don't know who Sisbel is, but they're going to help regardless. I guess because they trust Iska so much. Jin gets slashed, gets his arm cut up, and then he shoots Masked in the chest. However, Masked Lord, where his chest was, he was very lucky because he would have died. However, what was there was the evidence against Sisbel, so she's safe now. It'd be, if he was to report her, he'd just have his word, and then I guess they could be like, no, I didn't, and it's like, Masked Lord, you're a liar. It makes sense also because he's trying to get his lady, forgot her name, to be the queen. Of course, it would make sense for him to defame her, so everyone's gonna be like, he's full of crap without the evidence. Makes some sense. There's some gasoline spilled, and they're going to use flame astral spirit on it, so I guess, nuke the place. However, the astral spirit's not working. Why? Because Miss, I guess, is cancelling the astral spirit with her astral spirit, which is, okay, a thing that happens. And then, before, I think it was even mid-sentence, Jin just headshots Masked Lord in the head. Luckily, he's wearing that mask, which gets destroyed, that he covers his face. I guess he's got a hideous face or something. But no, he's like, I will remember this indignation you have made me suffer through. And then he teleports away. Jin, get and do something cool. Despite, that's what I've said throughout this series, is the side characters are really just there. I don't care. So I guess it's cool that Jin got to do something. Would be nice if they had more to them. Because, this show is kind of made by Iska and Alice and their interactions, in my opinion anyway. Sisbel was alright as well, I guess. But Team Iska, just kind of there. So nice Jin got to do a cool thing. And Nene did a cool thing too. And I guess Miss did. They all did a cool thing, isn't that great? So the mech begins entering its second form. It's literally like a boss fight. This second form is running on astral energy. It's got a giant laser beam that they barely avoided. Piercing shot doesn't work, so it like blocks it with an astral barrier. My guess is it sort of runs off astral mages, so like it uses them as like a power source, so to speak. So that means they've probably captured an astral mage at some point and is using it as the power source, based on what we see later, of course. Iska is like, Nene, you run away, I'm gonna go stop this thing, and gets to work on it. Sisbel helps out. She has to do a thing too, uses a sandstorm. It's like a hallucination. Like there used to be a sandstorm here, so she used her past power to make it see the sandstorm as if it was still there, but it's not. Iska, of course, uses this opportunity to stab it right in the core, which should have destroyed it. Should have being the key word. It did not destroy it. Instead, it sucks Sisbel in, like it goes and sucks her inside the core, and then transforms into another form, which is it's got arms. It's got, did it have legs? I can't remember if it had legs, but it had arms. That's for sure. And Iska's just like, what? What is that thing, man? What is it? It's literally like a multi-phase boss fight from any video game ever. The rest of Team Iska are evacuating people and they see like the light from that general direction. It's like, that looks kind of bad. Iska is getting pushed back by this thing. He's doing his best, but you know, his best often ain't really good enough. Then Alice shows up to help and, you know, they work together a bit. Iska rides this icicle storm up there like a snowboard. It's pretty cool. Giant laser. Alice uses her blossom shield thing. More lasers around destroying everything, which makes them both go like, hey, this destruction, there's no need for it. You know, what are you doing? And then again, they decide, hey, to protect the future we want, let us both team up together to battle this great enemy. And then they do that thing, which is always cool when they do it in anime, when the opening starts playing, which is hella cool. The opening starts playing, and honestly, I don't think this show's opening really works for a scene like this. It was alright, but you know, it's fine. I like the opening, it's good enough, whatever. But for an insert, it didn't really do much for me. It was fine, I guess. That is the what I can say about this show the most. They charge in, do cool things. They have like a laser fight where their joint laser beats the other laser of the giant mech thing and destroys the mech, and then the core comes down and Sisbel is released from the core. So they won. Happy days. It was alright. There was some 3D, I don't know what to call it, 3D, they were running through the area in 3D and boom, boom, boom. It was an alright fight, you know. It is the definition of a, yep, this is a final episode fight for a mid-show. You know exactly what I mean if you've seen like a lot of average shows. You know, they have a very simple but effective final formula, and it works. The government, the Empire government, the Illuminati boys are like, well, that was unexpected. Our things broke. We'll have to keep an eye on Iska. So obviously they're not going to arrest him for this because they seem to be aware of what he was doing. Iska and Alice, they thank each other and everything. And then, of course, she gets all sun, as she, you know, tends to do. Sisbel wakes up and figures, hey, you know Iska somehow. She, however, Alice, pretends she has no idea who Iska is. And Iska also pretends he has no idea who Alice is. And Sisbel's just looking at them like, I don't believe you. You're not fooling anyone. What are you trying to do here? And then she's like, well, Iska, you're my dream knight, so you have to come with... I'm not giving up. You're going to come with me at some point. And Alice gets all jealous, be like, hey, you can't be having that, Iska. You can't be letting her doing that. And he's like, well, would you look at the time? My friends are calling me. Bye, guys. And he sort of leaves all before things can kick off properly. So... that's the thing. Presumably that means Sisbel will trust Alice more now. And Iska is like, oh, bye guys, I'm off. Bye, later, man. Literally saved by the bell, except the bell in this case was his friends shouting for help. I would have liked them to interact a little bit. I get why they didn't, but Iska's, they're gonna have questions for him. Like, who was that girl? How did you manage to defeat the thing? You know, I have so many questions. And hopefully, well, I mean, so hopefully this is the last episode. Hopefully in the future, if, you know, the light novels, for people who are reading it or whatever, hopefully that stuff gets addressed. We then have a big old epilogue section showing everybody around. The Emperor has gone off searching for something, and what that something is Salinger. Salinger is intrigued by Iska, and then the Emperor goes to see him. Based on the Emperor's eyes, I'm going to assume the Emperor might be an astral spirit himself, but then why is he in the Empire? Who knows? But that's kind of what I think. I don't really know, though. Master Lord returns home and tells the other girl, whose name I don't remember, the black-haired girl, hey, you know, we've got some information. Let's prepare for, you know, prepare for what we're doing. The Queen asks Eltyr, well, knows Eltyr's the one that leaked the info about Sisbel, and then asks Eltyr if she is indeed the real Eltyr. So presumably there's some sort of imposter that's taken over Eltyr, or, you know, took the guise of Eltyr. So interested to see what happens there. Of course, this is our season finale, so I won't see what happens there, but, you know. Iska and Alice then are on a bench as they often tend to do. She's like, pretend you don't know me in front of, you know, people from the Sovereignty, of course, excluding Reen, I assume, because, you know, she's aware of them. And then, yeah, they stare longingly into each other's eyes for a bit and get all embarrassed, and they're like, see you when I see you, and that is where we end. They split up, and that's where we ended the episode. Okay, so, yeah, this season finale-wise, it was about what I expected, you know? It was perfectly fine, and I don't have much else to add. Would I have liked a season 2? I genuinely don't care. I mean, I would have watched it if it come out, because I had a good time watching this, but it's not exactly something I'm gagging to see more of. That's a good way of putting it. But for right now, let's check out what my favourite part of the episode is very quickly, and then I'll talk more about the series as a whole, you know, for a bit. But for right now, favourite part, let us go. My favourite part is the final fight. Silverlink as a studio, I think, get a little bit of a bad rap. Like, yes, they've made some pretty bad stuff, but, you know, sometimes they make decent looking fights and stuff. Like, I remember Beaufrey was like that, and there are some in this show that aren't exactly awful. They're not top tier or anything, but they're perfectly fine. Surprisingly good, considering it's Silverlink, not one of the most bigged up studios we'll go with. So yeah, I liked the final fight. I thought it was good. All the parts of it. Iska doing two sword things, as he tends to do. That was pretty good. Alice's magic, also pretty good. The giant laser beam, there was a weird shot where it was like the music was blaring, and then but then it was just the dude, the mech getting, you know, he's getting eviscerated by the laser, and it was just a still shot, or it was like a panning shot, and it was just kind of weird, because it was like, okay, there should be more movement here. That's the one, I guess, drawback to this part, but no, it was fine mostly. You know how it goes, basically. But yeah, fine finale is my overriding thought, and honestly, series as a whole, really just, yeah, it was fine. It was here, it was good entertainment, it wasn't anything special. Would I like to see more? I wouldn't be opposed to it, but I would like to see how the story would end. Like, I feel like there is still that little bit of curiosity in me. It's like, okay, so how are they gonna get peace? How are they gonna get together? But not anytime soon. I'm not desperate for it. But I am wondering, like, these kinds of shows, there's a lot of them, right? So I'm wondering how this will stack up. I'm wondering if you did like a mid-anime like tier list, like for all the like very mediocre shows, where this would come up. I think it's quite good. I've had a enjoyable time with this show. Like, despite watching it, be like, man, this is very average. But hey, I'll take average. It's not outright bad. You know, I've seen a lot worse. It managed to entertain me throughout the 12 episodes. I had fun. You know, I would describe this as good fun. So every so often you need to watch something that is just fun, if not especially amazing. I had fun with this. I hope everyone else watching had at least fun, and they didn't just watch it just to talk crap about it, because I know people do that for some reason. But no, I had fun with this. It was enjoyable. Will I ever watch it again? Probably not. But am I glad I watched it? Not especially. I could have gone without watching it, but I had fun watching it. That's a good way of putting it, I guess. Most of my fun enjoyment from it came from Iska and Alice. You know, they are the highlights of the show. I think everything else is just kind of also there. The animation was also alright there. Rena was quite funny too. Throw her in the mix as well. But anyway, I'm going to wrap this up now. Thank you everybody for watching this review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please subscribe and stuff for more reviews. I don't know what I'm doing next season yet. I got a few things, but we'll have to see. That'll come out soon, what I'm watching. Stay tuned, I guess. But for right now, I will see you whenever, so take care, and bye guys.